Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the newly reacquired relevance of some very specific Ninjago sequences revolving around reflections. There are many scenes throughout Ninjago that do indeed have some type of reflection, but in today's video, we're going to be discussing some very specific reflections from Ninjago's past that Ninjago fans have kind of disregarded as being irrelevant in the modern day. However, in today's video, due to some recent new developments for Ninjago Crystallized, we have a lot to talk about regarding a few specific scenes, once again involving reflections in the Ninjago series. Before we begin today's video though, I must give you guys a very obvious spoiler warning. There will in fact be spoilers ahead for Ninjago Crystallized, especially in regard to some of the recent leaked clips that we got thanks to Teletoon's French and Canadian networks. So once again, that was a very big spoiler warning for Ninjago Crystallized, and I would recommend watching something else if you don't want to know anything about this new Ninjago season before you actually do end up watching it. So for those of you guys that are still here, let's continue onward with the video. I'm not going to be showing any footage of the newly leaked clips in today's video because I've heard those clips have been taken down now from Teletoon or taken down by LEGO. Either way, those clips were not supposed to be shown in the first place, and I will not be risking the safety of my channel to show you guys that footage. I'm sure you guys have seen those clips. In one of the clips, you may remember that Nia herself is in fact present back in her human form after presumably being saved by the ninja thanks to help from Zane, Skylar, and possibly Esphira. I think that's the big rumor right now, that Esphira will have something to do with Nia turning back into a human following her transformation to a water elemental towards the end of Ninjago Seabound. She's back in her human form, and we have a sequence in which she and Master Wu are kind of talking about the ups and downs of this situation from what I understand. The entire clip is in French, like I said, so we don't have it officially released in English, but some people have in fact translated what was said, and what was said basically comes down to Nia is feeling discouraged now that she no longer has her power. Master Wu tries to help her out a little bit, but she just still feels down about not being an elemental master anymore, which confirms a couple of things. For one, that she lost her elemental power after whatever the ninja did to her turned her back into a human, and two, the reflection sequence from Ninjago Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, where Nia sees her greatest fear in the Explorers Club, that reflection came true. In fact, Nia's wearing the exact same outfit that we saw in that scene, in the scene in which Master Wu is talking to her about being discouraged. And I think that's super cool, having that reflection actually come true. Really cool stuff there. Kind of reminds me in Spinjitzu Brothers, that moment where Garmadon sees his future in the mirror, possibly the exact same mirror that was found in the Explorers Club. I like when Ninjago actually does something like that. The reflection in Season 11 actually did have some type of relevance, and that greatest fear for Nia actually came true. She just became a normal person. Not an elemental master, not a ninja, but a normal person. Now, of course, in the context of the Master Wu and Nia counseling scene, Wu eventually does convince Nia to return as Samurai X, as confirmed by the new Ninjago Crystallized sets and the ending of that scene, where Nia picks up the plans for the Samurai X mech. It seems like she's going to be returning to that title, pretty much back where she started. I am a little bit mixed on that decision, but I do think it's cool how the reflection from Season 11 actually did matter at the very end of the day. That fear came true. That was a very clear glimpse into the future of Nia's character. Speaking of reflections and glimpses into the future, some would argue that this also confirms that the reflections from Season 5 Possession do matter now in the modern day. There's been a lot to argue against those reflections not being relevant, but I would argue that now that Nia's back to being a human, I think you could go as far as to say that this reflection matters now too, now that Nia is back to being a human and will presumably get back together with Jay towards the end of Ninjago Crystallized. Of course, you could argue that the designs aren't the same, but hey, Ninjago's taken liberties with that before, showcasing many flashbacks where the ninja kept their older designs, acknowledging that those older designs are still canon, and the ninja could indeed return to those designs one day. Or maybe they will keep their current looks into the future, but still have the situation remain the same. I don't think designs have anything to do with those reflections being relevant anymore, unlike what several people, including myself, were saying around the time of Sons of Garmadon's release. You could argue against that, of course, but I have to say for sure that the Season 11 reflection where Nia sees her greatest fear, that reflection does indeed matter now in the modern day. Pretty much confirmed. As to the reflection from the tomb of the first Spinjitzu Master, again, you could argue against that being relevant. I'm willing to bet, though, that those reflections are in fact relevant now, which again kind of makes me concerned for Cole. Why couldn't he see anything? That still remains a big mystery, and no, it's not because he was a ghost during Skybound. That does not make any sense whatsoever. If everybody saw reflections of themselves in the far future, why would Cole see a reflection from only a few months into the future? Makes no sense, but that's a discussion to be had for another day. In the meantime, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up from my thoughts here today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and you enjoyed my thoughts on the reflections actually mattering now, both in Season 11 and Season 5 Possession. Be sure sure to leave a comment down below discussing what exactly you think about all of this. Do you think the reflections matter as much as I do? And what do you think is the deal with the possession reflections? Do those finally matter now? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, everybody. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And as always, be sure to check out the description down below for my other forms of social media. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. My name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.